is going through some stuff right now. Where I live, the protests, some people showed up who made it really dangerous to even be standing there protesting, people lighting things on fire. And I was thinking about how I don't even feel safe to go and be a part of these Black Lives Matter protests that are happening all over the US right now. And then I realized that I don't usually have to deal with the feeling of unsafety, and that Black people do all the time. You've probably heard of the one of the most famous Broadway musicals in the world, Hamilton. The musical covers the life of Alexander Hamilton, who was a founding father and a pivotal part of the US Constitution, all the way from when he immigrated when he was a teenager to the US to the day he died, fighting for what he believed in. The time frame of his life and when the musical takes place is the Revolutionary War, which is when Americans were fighting for independence. We were fighting to be free. The entire cast of Hamilton on Broadway is made up of all races. And so you've got a black man playing George Washington. Hamilton is a unique and amazing way of telling America's story then from America's people now. I have a Hamilton themed 2020 calendar. I don't usually keep an actual physical calendar because, you know, I have my phone. 2020 was gonna be a big year for me. I was graduating high school. I'm hopefully going on to college, and I'm figuring out the new phase in my life. And I thought it'd be cool if I had a physical calendar to always look back on at all the things I did. But little did I know when I got that half those things would be canceled. So I've kind of just ended up with a bunch of blank, empty days. For the month of May, this is the quote and image that goes with it. When I flipped the month to this and I saw this, I was like, oh, what a coincidence, because of the coronavirus and everything that's going on. Little did I know that by the end of the month, it would take on an entirely new meaning. A quote from a musical describing what they were going through in America 245 years ago applies so well to what's going on right now in 2020. I'm not ignorant. I know that this type of thing happens all the time. But for some reason, I always thought of it as happening in places that weren't near me. Sometimes it takes it happening almost in your own backyard to realize how easy it actually is for it to go unnoticed. Another quote from the musical from Thomas Jefferson, who is played by a black man, says, "We fought for these ideals, and we shouldn't settle for less." And while that quote wasn't directly talking about racism in the musical, isn't it sad that it kind of applies to it in 2020? The right to just exist as this flesh color. Literally, my dad starts lawn mowing. There's a lot of cops, people I know, who want to join the police force, not only to make a difference in the community, but to make a difference in the police force. As much as people like to get on the bandwagon of hating police officers, we need good officers, kind people, to join so that we can wean out this horrible, toxic thing that has infiltrated the hearts of so many people in power. Today is the last day of May. I'm about to change that calendar to a new month and a new quote and a new picture. But that doesn't mean that I forget what happened in May. I don't want to sit idly by just because my own life hasn't been touched by racism, even though I'm starting to realize that it has, because it's flooding my nation's streets. I've woken up. Have you?